We are now.
Okay, cool. What I that's the first time I've successfully found the live indicator. I just don't
That's
think
great.
I don't think I've been paying attention and have not seen it before.
It's okay. It's only bright red. And
Only bright red.
we're doing great.
Yeah. All right. So do you remember where we left off last time?
Okay, last week we went for a stroll on the beach,
Uh-huh.
right? And we tried our best to naturally strike up conversation with a stranger who definitely didn't want to talk to us, but
That's right.
he tried to give us a book, and we said, ChatGPT,
Stop giving
no,
us books.
more books we can't read.
Yeah.
So we got a rock instead.
Right. We got a rock. You know what? I actually don't remember what the rock looks like. I don't remember if it's like a black
I
rock
think
or
it
a
was
light colored
smooth.
rock. Say it
I think
again.
it was a smooth rock, and it
Was it?
had powers. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe, I don't know if this happened on air last time or if you and I had a sidebar, but I think we wanted to define the rock's powers.
Yeah, this happened live. I'm pretty sure this happened live.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
asked ChatGPT to give us some options for like what ability the stone will give us.
Mm-hmm.
That's in part because I just feel like ChatGPT isn't actually that good of a storyteller. We have to help it a little from time to time.
I mean, you say it's
Um,
not that good of a storyteller, but here we are like 6 weeks later.
real, real. Okay, fine. Well,
Let's pull her up. Let's see where we left off.
yeah, we have to pick a power. So that's where we're at today.
Yeah.
Present, share screen.
And we have a couple people watching right now.
What
I'm
up?
going to encourage audience participation. This is a very interactive activity. Whoops, we're doing right now.
For real. Yeah, for those who are here, we are playing a choose your own adventure game with ChatGPT, where it has taken us to a land called Lothar, where there's lots of weird magic and a lot of mean people. And we're about to choose a power that we get from a magic stone. And then we're going to go meet our some merchants that we're working with. Apparently, we don't really know them very well.
We also lied to them to get them to cause some trouble.
There's gonna be drama. We know this. Don't stress me out, Michelle.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
One message at a time.
Okay, cool. So we have to pick some powers. So Whispering Echoes. This was the one that gives us the ability to hear conversations and thoughts that occurred in like when we touch things. So those are conversations or thoughts that happened in the past near that thing that we're touching. Shadow Step gives us the ability to step into any shadow and emerge from another shadow within a limited distance. This is kind of cool. It's like some weird teleportation. Each of these abilities do come with quirks. The first one is that sometimes the thoughts bleed into the present, causing us to mix up conversations with those that we had in the past. So basically, we'll come across as kind of like cuckoo bananas to other people. This one, the shadows will occasionally cling to us, making us sort of seem dimmer and more ghostly. I don't know. That sort of feels not that terrible. Twilight Sight, when we hold the stone, we can see into something called the Twilight Realm, which is a parallel dimension that overlaps with the physical world. In this realm, you might spot hidden paths, invisible creatures, or people's true intentions. If we spend too long there, it causes us to temporarily see everything in shades of gray, even after returning to the normal world. Also weird and quirky, I guess. I guess that's why they're calling it quirk. Illusion weaving gives us the ability to create illusions. And then sometimes they take on a life of their own, which is fun.
I feel like that's the one. I feel like that's the one we have to go with.
Okay, well, I really like Spirit Lantern, so we may have to debate on this because we're gonna skip to that. Spirit Lantern, when activated, the stone emits a soft glow that reveals spirits or entities invisible to the naked eye. These spirits might be helpful, neutral, or mischievous, and can provide guidance or hinder your progress. The lantern's light can sometimes attract spirits you don't intend to summon, leading to unexpected encounters. Okay.
Okay, that's also a little chaotic.
They're both kind of the same thing. It adds more characters to the story.
Yeah.
I am cool with either. What do you think?
We can go
Actually,
spirit lantern.
well,
I
part of me wants
like
this one because it's sillier. Like we make a fake illusion of like a rock, and then the rock starts speaking to us. Or like a t-shirt, and the t-shirt develops a life of its own. What?
Do you
Let's
think
do it.
people in Lothar wear t-shirts?
I don't know. We're doing illusion weaving.
Okay.
Illusion weaving. I mean, I want some fun.
I just really am drawn to the idea of the illusion can take on a life of its own and
Right.
basically tell you have a nice day.
They just like walk off.
Yeah, basically.
The illusion didn't like our vibe. And it's like, I'm just gonna go. Okay, we can dive back into the story with the new power at your disposal. Okay, so where we left off, we had gone back to the weird spire place where people were technically we work, and we went to bed. So, I wake up the next morning, and I we have to kill the day, right? No, I'm just gonna go, and I go to the tavern to meet the merchants. Okay, the next morning, you wake up in your quarters within the obsidian spire, the memory of the previous day's encounters still fresh in your mind. Oh no, the stone with its newfound power of illusion weaving. Wait, okay. I don't like that it's just telling us what the power is, but it's securely tucked away. Its presence, comforting weight as you prepare for the day ahead. You make your way through the dim quarters of the spire, stepping out into the twilight lit streets of Lothar. The city is just beginning to stir, the air filled with the quiet murmurs of merchants setting up their stalls and the distant clatter of hooves on cobblestones. As you approach the tavern, the Whispering Flame is what the tavern is called. You feel a mix of anticipation and uncertainty. The merchants are already inside, waiting for you, their diverse personalities sure to make this meeting anything but predictable. Entering the tavern, you spot them at a corner table. The sharp-eyed woman sits upright, her
We gotta
gaze.
get her name.
We gotta get her name.
It's been weeks and we just keep calling her the sharp-eyed woman.
We just keep referring to everyone by like vague things about their body. Like we don't know anyone's names.
I think that's something I think we also wanted to get some like background story on our motley crew. So maybe let's finish this and then get to that.
Yeah. We need to know more about them for sure. The sharp-eyed woman sits upright, her gaze focused and eager. The older man, however, is absent-mindedly fiddling with a map, muttering to himself about some forgotten path. The young merchant, true to his nervous nature, looks around anxiously, clearly having second thoughts. As you join them, the sharp-eyed woman leans in, her voice tinged with excitement. I've got everything we need to infiltrate that auction tonight. The artifact will be ours before anyone knows what's happening. Her eyes gleam. Okay, we don't know what she's talking about, right?
No, I don't remember an auction, and I don't know what artifact.
Okay, I feel like. Okay. The older man barely glances up with his map, mumbling, "Ah, yes, the auction, or was it the market? No, definitely the auction, or maybe a library. What is?" Okay. The younger merchant fidgets in his seat, his voice shaky. Are we sure about this? I mean, it's dangerous, right? We could, get caught or worse. The tension at the table is palpable, each merchant's personality adding a layer of complexity to the plan. What do you do? Okay. So we don't know what they're talking about. But they seem to know. I feels like it feels like we just walked in on their conversation.
Maybe they got there a little early and started without us.
Yeah. I respond. Wait.
Wait, let's sidebar. Let's
Okay. Yeah.
sidebar real
Okay. Yeah.
quick,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
let's ask ChatGPT for a brief biographies of everyone at the table.
Biographies. Am I spelling this right? Biographies. No, biographies.
You put an R.
Oh yeah.
Bri-
Can you please provide a brief? Brief is very important if anyone is listening. ChatGPT does not understand human speed, human reading speed. Can you please provide brief biographies for each merchant at the table?
Do you think he's gonna give us their names? Oh, nope. Oh,
No, he
wait,
did.
yes,
He
yes,
did.
yes.
Okay, older man with graying beard. Their name is Gavin Thornfoot.
Cool.
Their occupation is fun. They're a merchant of antique maps and navigational tools. Biography. Once a renowned cartographer, Gavin spent much of his life mapping uncharted territories of Lothar and beyond. His adventures took him to distant lands where he discovered hidden paths and mysterious artifacts. However, his life took a tragic turn when his wife, who was his partner in exploration, disappeared during one of their joint expeditions. Distraught and guilt-ridden, Gavin abandoned his adventurous life and settled in Lothar, selling the maps and tools he once used. Despite his absent-minded and distracted demeanor, he possesses an unmatched knowledge of Lothar's hidden routes and forgotten secrets, making him an invaluable ally in navigating the city's labyrinth streets.
Okay.
Okay, work, Gavin. Gavin it's like showing up to work. Good for you. Okay, sharp-eyed woman. Finally, we know
A
her name.
girl.
Serafina. I'm gonna ask her if we can call her Sarah for short.
Yeah. Serafina Vale.
Serafina Vale. Okay.
Wow.
Merchant of rare and cursed artifacts. That's so her.
Of course.
That's so her. Serafina was raised by her mother, a dealer in forgotten and dangerous artifacts. From a young age, she learned the art of handling objects that that others would consider too dangerous to touch. After her brother Edrin mysteriously disappeared, an event Serafina suspects was connected to a cursed artifact, she took over the family business with a dual purpose: to find her brother and to ensure that these dangerous objects do not fall into the wrong hands. Serafina is highly skilled at detecting curses and enchantments, and her sharp eyes miss nothing. She is driven, focused, and unafraid to take risks if it means uncovering the truth. Okay. All right. Younger, nervous merchant. His name is Felix Merriweather.
All right, Felix.
Okay,
Let's
Felix.
hear it.
What's your deal, Felix? He is a merchant of fabrics, luxurious fabrics, and tailoring clothes. Okay. Felix is a meticulous and fashion-obsessed merchant who built his business from the ground up, becoming the go-to tailor for Lothar's elite. Coming from a modest background, Felix has always been plagued by self-doubt, worrying that one wrong move could lead to the loss of everything he's worked so hard to achieve. His nervousness often gets the better of him in high pressure situations, but his expertise in fabrics and tailoring is unparalleled. Felix has a talent for creating quick disguises, which can be invaluable for blending in or hiding in plain sight. Despite his anxiety, Felix is loyal and determined, often surprising others with his resourcefulness when it matters most. Cute. He's a little poof. Like he's a fashionista. I love that about him.
An anxious
An anxious fashionista. Felix, you're
aren't we
me.
all?
Felix is me.
Give Felix an orange hat and we're good to go.
All
Okay.
right.
So we know, okay, we got names, we got backgrounds.
Yeah, I actually feel like we got a little bit of information about what they must be talking about too. Is that because she said the thing about the artifact, and this
Mm-hmm.
is her like reason is that she wants to discover that artifact. I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think. But we do need to ask because it's like they're not really being very welcoming. Shocker for Lothar, but like we just showed up. Can you please like slow down and tell us what you're talking about?
Right. This is our mission.
Right. Yeah, we're the protagonists, right?
All
We
right, let's greet. Were you gonna ask ChatGPT if we were the protagonist?
are we the protagonist, ChatGPT? Um,
Uh, Good morning,
okay.
team.
Good morning, team.
Um, what are y'all talking about?
I love it. Good morning, team. What?
I don't have social anxiety. Great,
Cool.
thanks.
You know, we gotta like put the tone in it somehow. As you greet the group with a
Oh
cheerful good
no.
morning team, the merchants look up to you, each reacting in their unique way. Gavin Thornfoot, the older man, glances up from his map with a distracted smile. Ah, morning. We were just discussing. He looks down at his map again, as if trying to remember the auction. Oh my God, he just keeps forgetting he's so unfocused. Yes, the auction tonight, or was it the hidden tunnels under the city? No, definitely the auction, or maybe
We need to
Seraphina.
keep an eye on him.
Yeah, like he's gonna just wander off.
He's dangerous.
Seraphina Vale, the sharp-eyed woman, cuts him off with a wave of her hand, her voice brisk and focused. We're finalizing our plans for the auction tonight. The artifact we're after is dangerous, and we need to be prepared for anything. Felix here, she gestures to the young merchant, was just expressing some reservations. Felix Merriweather, the young merchant, shifts nervously in his seat, wringing his hands. I mean, I'm all for the plan, really, but it's just, do we really know what we're getting into? This auction isn't exactly a local market sale. Seraphina's eyes narrow slightly, but she softens her tone just a bit. Felix, we've been through this. Yes, it's risky, but that's why we have a plan. Gavin will help us navigate through the city unnoticed. I'll handle the artifact, and your skills with disguises will be crucial to getting us in and out without raising suspicion. Gavin, still half absorbed in his map, suddenly chimes in, right. And if we get lost, I'll just redraw the map. Simple as that. Seraphina rolls her eyes slightly, but then focuses back on you. So, are you ready to get started? We'll need you to move quite quickly if we're going to secure that artifact. What do you do?
Is it just me, or is Seraphina carrying the emotional labor of
I mean,
this
truly,
group?
it's literally like she's just she is running the show
Yes.
and no one's really helping her. I kind of
No.
understand why she's being so quick and short. She's like trying to get these people to focus and they just won't.
Yep.
um,
Anyway,
what do we do? I mean, I don't really know what our role is.
I mean, let's ask them if we should map out our plan step by step so
Yeah.
we can kind of see what they're thinking.
Yes, I am ready to go. Please describe your plan, Seraphina,
Yeah, we don't want
and
anyone else
please
trying to.
tell me what I am needed, what you need me to do.
Yes.
I'm here, I'm just reporting for duty.
We want to be in her good graces.
Seriously. Seraphina nods, clearly pleased by your readiness. She leans forward, spreading a small hand-drawn map on the table that details the layout of the auction venue. Our target is a high-profile underground auction held in one of the city's old abandoned theaters, she begins, her voice crisp and authoritative. The auction will be heavily guarded, with only the most trusted or dangerous individuals invited. The artifact we're after is expected to be the centerpiece of the auction, drawing in all kinds of unsavory characters. She points to the map indicating a side entrance. We'll enter through a conspicuous side door. Felix has prepared disguises that will help us blend in with the crowd. He's crafted them to match some of the typical attendees: affluent collectors and mysterious dealers. Once inside, we'll move toward the main auction room. Serafina taps the center of the map. During the auction, we'll need to stay close to the artifact. Gavin will keep an eye on the crowd, using his knowledge of the city's underground to spot any potential threats or escape routes. I'll focus on identifying the artifact and ensuring we can secure it without drawing too much attention. She then turns her sharp gaze on you. Here's where you come in. I need you to use that new ability of yours, the illusion weaving.
How does she know?
Right. How to see ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
You're skipping steps here. We're just gonna go with it. I mean, we could ask them to regenerate, but that's an option.
Can we say regenerate this response, but they don't know about the rock or its powers?
Regenerate that response. The merchants do not know about the rock and its power. Okay, we can probably skip some of this.
It's giving Ocean's 8.
It's really giving.
That's the one. That's the one with all the women, right?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen.
That's the only one
I feel like
seen.
That's the only one I've seen too. I've watched it multiple times on planes. It's just always available on planes. Okay. Okay, she then turns her sharp gaze on you. Your role is to watch for anything unusual. Keep an eye on anyone who seems too interested in us or the artifact. I thought that was what's his face's job. I'm gonna ask him, give us a different role. Give me a different role in this plan.
Our wild card.
Ooh, okay. You're our wild card, she says, her tone decisive. Your role is to move freely through the auction, gathering information and listening in on conversations. There will be people there who know things about the artifact, about the bidders, maybe even about the Veiled Watchers. We need someone who can pick up on those details without drawing too much attention. Okay, fine. She taps on a spot on the map where the auction attendees will gather before the bidding begins. Mingle with the crowd, act like you belong there. If you overhear anything important, plans, threats, secret deals, you report back to us. Your ability to blend in and read the room will be crucial. Felix, still fiddling with a piece of fabric, nods in agreement. We need to know who we're up against. If someone's got their eye on the same prize, we need to be prepared. Gavin chimes in, his voice more focused now. Information is power, blah, blah. Okay, they're all saying the same thing. Serafina leans in, her gaze intent. Your role might seem subtle, but it's one of the most important, blah, 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 blah. It's helpful. Got it. Okay. She straightens up, her tone firm. Are you ready to be our eyes and ears in the auction? Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
But we need a sick outfit, though, Felix. I say, yes. I turn to Felix and I say, so tell me about my costume. My killer costume. Let's do it. I want it. Felix's face lights up, clearly excited to talk about his craft. He quickly pulls out a bundle of fabric with a nearby bag and begins to unfold with the careful precision of someone who takes immense pride in their work. All right, so here's the deal, he says, his voice picking up speed as he gets into the details. I've put together a look that screams sophistication with just
now he can talk. Now he can talk in complete sentences.
He's in his element. He's in his element. He's talking about his his passion. That screams sophistication with just a hint of mystery. You'll be going as a high-end collector, someone who's made a fortune in obscure exotic artifacts, the kind of person who's been around the world, seen things that others can only dream of, and is now looking to add a rare piece to their collection. He holds up a long, dark coat made of rich, supple material that shimmers slightly in the light. This is the centerpiece, a tailored coat with just enough subtle details to suggest wealth without being ostentatious. Underneath, a crisp, high collared shirt that says, I know what I'm doing, and a dark trouser that keeps the look sleek and focused. Felix then adds a few accessories, a wide brimmed hat with a slight tilt, a pair of thin, elegant gloves, and a walking cane with a curved handle.
Oh
Okay,
my
we have a
goodness, we
cane
are
and we
dressed
have
to
a
the
big hat.
nines.
Yes, I love this. The hat and cane add a bit of flair, something that catches the eye without giving away too much. It's all about balancing presence with enigma. He steps back, clearly proud of his creation. With this outfit, you'll blend in perfectly with the auction's elite. No one will question your place there, and you'll have the freedom to move around and gather the information we need. Felix looks at you eagerly, waiting for your reaction. So, what do you think? Ready to become someone else for the night?
Oh my goodness.
What do you think?
Let's suit up.
Okay, let's suit up. I'm going to say exactly that.
Did they mention what kind of shoes?
You know what? They didn't.
What if it were like wide brimmed hat, a tailored coat with supple fabric, and a pair of Allbirds? A pair of sensible footwear.
Anti-slip.
Anyway.
Felix grins widely, his nerves momentarily forgotten in his excitement. Absolutely, he says, quickly gathering the pieces of your disguise. He hands you the tailored coat, hat, gloves, and cane, his movements precise and practiced. As you start to don the outfit, Felix hovers nearby, adjusting the fit here and there, making sure everything sits just right. This should help you blend in perfectly, he murmurs, more to himself than to you. Okay, he's a little nervous as he tweaks the angle of the hat and smooths out a crease in the coat. Remember, confidence is key. Walk like you own the place. All right. Once you're fully suited up, we're Sandra Bullock in Ocean's 8 right now.
Obviously.
Because that's what she does during the heist. She's the one that like kind of just moseys about in the
Yeah.
place amongst all
Yeah.
of the elite.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you're fully suited up, Felix steps back to admire his handiwork. Serafina and Gavin both give approving nods, each clearly impressed with the transformation. Not bad, Serafina says with a slight smile. You look the part. Just remember to keep your eyes open and stay alert. Gavin, still fiddling with his map, Gavin, still fiddling with his map, glances up at you, chuckles. Sharp as a tack, my friend. You'll fit right in. Just don't go buying anything we can't afford. Felix claps his hands together, a mixture of pride and anxiety on his face. All right, team, let's make this work. We've got one shot to pull this off. Okay, he's so confident right now.
I love it.
All right, with everyone ready, you prepare to head out into the twilight streets of Lothar, the anticipation building as you draw closer to the auction and the dangerous artifacts that await. What do you do next? ChatGPT's doing this weird thing all of a sudden where each character is they each get like a closing line to the scene.
Everyone gets to participate. You got to pass the talking stick around.
Before we call cut, everyone gets to hold the talking stick. All right. Okay, so we go to the auction, right? Is there anything else we need to do?
Should we ask it to like kind of let's go to the auction, have everyone take their places, and then
Right.
ask it to like cause some trouble or like we encounter an unforeseen obstacle.
No, yeah, totally. We go to the auction and each member of the team takes their place. So that means we're in the crowd, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It takes their place.
Yeah, we're just out. We're just in it.
We wander through the crowd and we listen and observe. Then how did you describe that? Then
Something unexpected happens.
then something unexpected happens. Let's see what they do with that. The four of you make your way through the winding streets of Lothar, the darkening sky casting long shadows as the city buzzes with its usual twilight activity. The old abandoned theater that houses the auction looms ahead, its once grand facade now cracked and weathered, but still imposing in the dim light. The building seems to almost swallow the sounds as if the very air is thick with secrets. As you enter through the side door, the theater's interior is a stark contrast to its exterior. The grand hall, lit by chandeliers that cast an eerie golden glow, is filled with an eclectic mix of people: wealthy doctors, shrouded figures, and dealers with eyes that flicker with suspicion and greed. Okay, shady. The atmosphere hums with low conversations, the kind where words are carefully chosen and truths are only half spoken. Okay, blah, blah, ChatGPT. Each member of your team smoothly takes their place. Serafina, with their sharp gaze, positions herself near the stage where the auction items are displayed, her attention already fixed on the artifact in question. Gavin
Do we know
lingers.
what the artifact is?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, we should probably.
Yeah, we need to know like what it looks like or something. Gavin lingers near a side exit, his map tucked discreetly in his coat, occasionally glancing at the crowd with a knowing look. Felix, though visibly nervous, blends in well within a group of well-dressed attendees, his impeccable attire making him look like he belongs. You, dressed in your elegant disguise, begin to wander through the crowd, listening to snippets of conversation, observing the subtle exchanges, and calculating glances. Your ears pick up fragments of interest, a whispered deal here, a hushed warning there. People are talking about the artifact, but in veiled terms, as if its true nature is something to be feared. As you move closer to a group of particularly influential looking bidders, the air in the room suddenly shifts. The low murmur of conversation begins to falter, and a strange, unsettling silence falls over the crowd. You notice the subtle shift in people's expressions, nervous glances, hesitant movements, as if something unseen has entered the room. Then the unexpected happens. Oh God, the grand double doors at the far end of the hall swing open with a resounding crash. A figure strides in, tall, cloaked, and radiating an aura of cold authority. The crowd parts for them instinctively, their heads bowing slightly as if in deference or fear. You catch a glimpse of the figure's face, a mask, stark white and emotionless, with dark, empty eyes that seem to pierce through the very soul of the room. Kind of a weird description. Whispers ripple through the crowd, and you overhear a hurried, fearful murmur. The Watcher. What is he doing here? Oh, God. Okay.
Oh man.
Oh, my God. We've never heard of this person before. Okay, the figure whom you now recognize as a member of of the Veiled Watchers moves with deliberate grace toward the auction stage, his presence casting a chilling shadow over the proceedings. The tension in the room ratchets up, and you can feel the collective anxiety of the crowd as the auctioneer hesitates, caught off guard by the Watcher's sudden appearance. Serafina shoots you a glance from across the room, her eyes sharp with concern and calculation. Gavin stiffens, his hands hovering near his map as if ready to bolt. Felix looks like he's about to faint, his confidence visibly crumbling under the Watcher's icy presence. The Watcher's arrival has clearly thrown everyone off balance, including your team. Whatever plans were in place now feel precarious, and the stakes have been raised dramatically. What do you do? I mean, I don't know if there's anything we can do right now.
All right, I feel like we need to. I feel like we need to watch. We need to observe. Watch the Watcher.
Let the story unfold further.
We should also make note of what the artifact is.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
What if we find out what the artifact is and then like strike up conversation with someone about the artifact?
Ooh, I like that.
Mm.
We have been around powerful people before.
We're not scared.
We turn to the stranger next to us and nonchalantly ask, how do you spell that? Nonchalantly ask them about the art about
Artifact.
the artifact being sold.
Do you think they serve food at this thing?
We also ask, is there food at this thing? You take a deep breath, reminding yourself that you've been around powerful people before. This is just another test of composure without missing a beat. That's right. We are smooth. You turn to the people standing next to you, a well-dressed man with a sharp, calculating expression. You lean in slightly, adopting a casual, almost bored tone as you talk. So, what's the deal with this artifact everybody's whispering about?
Too cool for school.
Too cool for school. What's the deal, bro? The man, who had been eyeing the veiled watcher nervously, is slightly startled by your sudden conversation. He recovers quickly, however, his demeanor shifting as he sizes you up. Ah, the artifact, he replies, his voice smooth but laced with caution. It's said to be a relic of the old kingdoms, cursed, they say. Whoever owns it tends to lose themselves. Or so the rumors go. But then again, that's why it's so valuable, isn't it? Power always comes with a price. You nod thoughtfully, as if this is nothing you haven't heard before. Yeah, like, of course, bro. Power always comes with a price. What are you talking about? Interesting, you murmur. Then add with a completely straight face. And you serve food at this thing? Can't bid on an empty stomach, you know? The man blinks, caught off guard by the abrupt shift in conversation. For a moment, he just stares at you as if trying to determine whether you're serious or just playing with him.
Oh no.
Finally, he lets out a short, dry laugh. Food at an auction like this? Not likely, but if you're hungry, I suppose you could try your luck with the kitchen staff, assuming they don't toss you out for asking.
All
He seems
right.
slightly more at ease now, perhaps thinking you're just another eccentric collector with peculiar priorities. His gaze shifts back to the stage where the auctioneer is nervously preparing to start the bidding despite the watcher's looming presence. The tension in the room remains thick, but your nonchalant approach has diffused it slightly, at least in the immediate vicinity. You've gathered a bit more information about the artifact, but the arrival of the watcher still casts a long shadow over the proceedings. What do you do next? Okay.
So this guy thinks we're weird.
Yeah, but he kind of likes us. We're charming.
He's seen worse.
He did tell us to go to the kitchens, which I would love to do, but I am on the clock. I feel like I would like the people in the kitchens more.
We
Okay.
can't disappoint Serafina though.
I know we can't. We can't let Sarah down. Okay, so we know that we don't. I mean, we sort of have a vague understanding of what the relic looks like, but we still don't know what it. I guess we don't know what it looks like, but we know like some background about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just ask. But like,
Should we want? What if we just said like, let's go find the cursed artifact?
but how do we find it?
ChatGPT's gonna figure it out.
Okay, fine.
Also, whatever just a suggestion. I feel like.
Yeah. I am still unsure what the artifact looks like, so I wander away towards the stage and take a look at the items being sold. I Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm hoping that ChatGPT will figure out, like, don't just tell me which one it is.
Right.
You smoothly excuse yourself from the conversation, giving the man a polite nod before making your way towards the stage. The crowd, still buzzing with a mix of anxiety and anticipation, parts slightly as you move, allowing you to approach the auction display more closely. The stage is set with a number of intriguing items, each one resting on a velvet-covered pedestal under soft, focusing light. The auctioneer, a nervous-looking man who keeps glancing at the veiled watcher, is preparing to begin, but you have a few moments to take in the items. As you approach, your eyes scan the collection: a jeweled dagger, glinting ominously, a set of ancient scrolls, rolled tightly and bound with worn leather, a strange, twisted statue that seems to shift ever so slightly when you're not looking directly at it, but none of these seem to match the description of the sense of danger you've heard about the artifact. Ooh, then you see it. A small, unassuming box made of dark wood, no bigger than a bread loaf. Its surface is intricately carved.
Wait, no bigger than a bread loaf?
Yeah, isn't that like pretty
A
big?
bread loaf's huge.
Right.
Anyway,
A small, unassuming box.
no bigger than a bread
No
loaf.
bigger than a bread loaf. You know, maybe bread loaves in Lothar are small.
It could be like a personal,
A
like
personal bread.
like a roll, dinner roll.
Okay, its surface is intricately carved with symbols you don't immediately recognize, and the wood has an almost unnatural sheen, as if it's been polished by hands long gone. The box is closed, and there's no immediate indication of what lies inside, but something about it draws your attention. You feel an inexplicable pull, a sense that this is the item everyone is whispering about. The artifact. That's so dramatic. As you look at it more closely, you notice the faintest vibrations in the air around it, like a barely perceptible hum that seems to resonate with the space around it. The closer you get, the more you can feel a strange tension in the air, as if the box itself is alive, waiting for someone to unlock whatever secrets or curses it holds. You catch Seraphina's eyes from across the room. She's clearly noticed your interest and gives you a slight nod, confirming your suspicion. The auctioneer clears his throat, preparing to start the bidding. The veiled watcher remains motionless, his presence a constant icy reminder that this auction is anything but ordinary. What do you do next?
Oh my god.
Okay, so we know what it is. We're at the auction. There's a veiled watcher here, and he seems like everyone's really terrified that he's here. We're trying to get an artifact that it is tied to the veiled watcher, so it seems likely the veiled watcher is about to bid on this item.
Mm.
So I don't know what that means, because we need to steal it, right? So we either are going to have to steal it off of the person that buys it, or we need to steal it before it's given to them.
Should we cause a diversion?
That's clever. This is a perfect place for a diversion. And we can make illusions.
Oh, Joel.
Okay, we can make illusions. Oh my gosh, I feel like autonomy right
I'm
now.
sweating.
Okay. So what illusion? I mean, like, one could be fire. Could we make like an earthquake? Could like the ground split apart? I don't know. That feels like very advanced, and we've never done this before. What's something simpler? Like, what's a way to make? We could make just like a person hollering. We could like. I wonder if there's I feel like part of the diversion should be it pulls attention either away from the stage or hides the stage somehow, because we need to get up on that stage and take the thing. So I don't know what would hide the stage. We could like make a fake curtain that closes because it's a theater. That would be less suspicious. Or we could cause a fire. Those are my votes.
I think we should lean into something that might cause the quirk to come out, where it takes a life of its own.
Ooh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot. Okay.
Can we create the illusion of a person causing trouble and seeing where they
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Could we what if we made a copy of the Veiled Watcher?
Ooh.
And it's like talking, or it's like accusing the existing Veiled Watcher of being an impersonator.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Okay.
Let's cause a little chaos.
I reach into my pocket and wrap my hand around the stone. I study the veiled watcher. Man, I hate that word. The Veiled Watcher. And I imagine, and I hold, I don't remember their gender, their image in my head. I squeeze the stone tightly, and I create an illusion of the veiled. I will never spell that word right.
You sure won't.
Illusion of the Veiled Watcher, at the far side of the theater.
Should we like explicitly tell ChatGPT like, hey, this is meant to create a diversion?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. At the far side of the theater, I do this to create a diversion. The illusion points at the Veiled Watcher and shouts, "That's an imposter."
We're gonna get the Veiled Watcher so good.
We're gonna embarrass him in front of everyone. With the stone clutched tightly in your hand, you focus your thoughts on the image of the Veiled Watcher. Every detail, from the stark white mask to the imposing cloak, you feel the stone's power hum to life, the energy flowing through you as you concentrate on weaving the illusion. In your mind's eye, you picture the far side of the theater, away from where the real Watcher stands. You channel your focus, imagining the illusion of the Watcher materializing there, pointing with a dramatic flourish. You squeeze the stone, and the air around you seems to ripple as the illusion takes shape. Across the theater, at the very edge of the crowd, a figure identical to the Veiled Watcher suddenly appears, stark and menacing. The illusion raises its hand, pointing directly at the real Veiled Watcher, and in a voice that echoes through the hall, it shouts, "That's an imposter!" The effect is immediate and chaotic. The crowd gasps, heads whipping around to see the new arrival. I mean, this is drama. Everybody's going to be talking about this at the pub tonight. People instinctively back away from the illusion, their faces a mix of confusion and fear. The real Veiled Watcher stiffens, clearly taken aback, and for a brief moment, there's an eerie silence as the entire theater is gripped by the sudden turn of events. Then pandemonium breaks out.
We
Some
love
of the
a little pandemonium.
Yeah, bring on the pandemonium. Some of the attendees start to shout, others stumble back in panic. Oh my god, they're so afraid. Why are they so afraid? Unsure of who or what to believe. The auctioneer freezes, his eyes darting between the two Veiled Watchers, his face draining of color. Guards rush forward, their hands on their weapons, but they hesitate, clearly unsure which figure is the real threat. The real Veiled Watcher turns slowly, oh gosh, to face the illusion. The empty black mask, eyes of the mask narrowing slightly. The Watcher's hand twitches, and you sense a powerful unseen force gathering, as if the real Watcher is about to unleash something dangerous in response. The diversion has worked, creating the chaos you intended, but now the situation is dangerously unpredictable. The artifact still sits on the stage, momentarily forgotten in the confusion. I feel like Serafina needs to slip in, right?
All right.
Um,
Let's have her try to get the
yeah.
artifact.
Serafina attempts to steal the artifact while the audience is distracted. I don't remember if that's how you spell their name. I guess we haven't. This might be the first time we narrate for another character, but I feel like sometimes that's needed.
Yeah.
As
There's
the theater,
no rules.
yeah, there's no rules. We make the rules.
It's pandemonium.
As the theater descends into chaos, Serafina seizes the moment. Her sharp eyes lock onto the artifact, and without hesitation, she moves with a swift, practiced precision towards the stage. The crowd is too distracted by the two veiled watchers to notice her, their attention consumed by the unfolding drama. Serafina's movements are quick and fluid, her footsteps almost silent as she slips past the panicking attendees and climbs onto the stage. The auctioneer, too stunned to react, doesn't even see her coming. Okay, feels a little questionable, but with a deft motion, she reaches for a small, dark wooden box, her fingers barely brushing its surface before she carefully lifts it from the pedestal. As she does, the air around the artifact seems to vibrate slightly as if it's aware of being moved. Serafina's expression remains focused, though you see a flicker of something in her eyes, determination mixed with a hint of wariness. She knows better than to underestimate the danger of what she's holding. She tucks the box under her arm and swiftly retreats, slipping back into the crowd just as the real veiled watcher makes a decisive gesture. The illusion you created flickers for a moment and then dissipates, the magical energy unraveling as the watcher's power disrupts it.
No.
Lame.
Boring.
Yeah, I wanted them to become something. Oh well. The watcher's gaze sweeps the room, but Serafina is already on the move, weaving through throngs of confused and frightened guests. She gives you a subtle nod as she passes the artifact safely in her possession. The room is still in disarray, and you can see Gavin and Felix beginning to edge towards the exits, ready to make a quick exit if needed. The watcher, however, is now focusing on regaining control, his attention momentarily diverted from the missing artifact. What do you do next? That felt too easy.
I feel like
Something unexpected happens. Is that a good? Unless what were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say I feel like it's a good time to
Pause it.
Put a pin.
Okay, that's what we send next week.
That went by so quickly.
It did go by quickly. Okay, so we have it. We have whatever we don't know what it is because it's in a box, but some mysterious artifact that we don't know what it is, and we don't know where it's from, but we know that it's been owned by like kings, and it's like ancient, and people like lose themselves when they have it. That's what has been described.
That means.
Right.
I feel like next week, like the drama can come from people realizing that it's gone.
Absolutely.
So I feel like there's plenty of continued pandemonium to
realize it's gone. Something unexpected happens. That's where we start.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Productive.
Yeah, I'm sad about our illusion. I really liked that illusion idea. And I'm sad they were murdered by the Veiled Watcher.
I know.
Oh well, we can't have everything in life. You know what? We
still have the stone though. We could still.
That's true. We can try again.
I feel like we're gonna need to try again.
We do like to I mean, I definitely like to complain because I frequently complain that ChatGPT gives me everything that I want, and they just didn't give me what I want. I'm mad about that too. So.
You gotta work with what you got, Joel.
I know. I need to be more grateful.
All right. I feel like we have a fun next step to look forward to. I feel like I've been getting more and more drawn into this world.
I mean, it does it is starting to get more detailed. Like
Yeah.
as we get deeper into it, we know a lot more about the characters. Um,
I feel like the first 3 weeks was just a lot of bopping around.
bopping
I
around,
don't know
just
what was
just
going on.
causing,
Just
just
like
doing,
bothering people.
just truly, we were just a menace. We stole things. We like made a random scene in a pub. Like we barged into someone's house.
Oh my goodness.
We were a menace.
Real quick, I did Google Lothar while we were doing this because I was curious
No, is it
where
a
it could have.
place?
I was curious where it could have gotten the name from. I didn't know if it was maybe drawing from another
Yeah.
mystical world, and this is what came up.
What?
So
Is some sort of like cyclops.
yes, there's definitely some like fandom
It's
fandom
like a Godzilla
stuff.
creature. Lothar is the sin monster of Gelid. It's a boss. Oh my gosh.
So
I mean, he's ripped. He goes to the gym. Good for him.
I felt like I could not share that with you.
Yeah, maybe it will incorporate its way into the history somehow. Maybe that's
I
the
will
founder.
imagine. We gotta find out where Lothar got his name.
Yeah. Is there a founding father
I'll add it to
or
the
mother?
list. Founding being.
Founding
I feel like,
being.
I feel
Founding
like
one. Who's
things
the
are
founding
pretty
one?
fluid. And Joelle, always so much fun
Yeah,
doing this
a
with
pleasure.
you. Thanks for driving as always.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I actually, if you want to read, you're always welcome to because I
Oh
get
no,
tired.
you do a way better job.
Honestly, I think I need to send another. Can you make your responses a little shorter message? I feel like that is one way we see it degrade over time. Is like I have to just occasionally pop that in there because ChatGPT over time gets a little long-winded.
Maybe we can sprinkle a couple of those briefly explain to us what's going on here. Okay, all great ideas for next time.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, this was ChatGPT, Your Own Adventure, every Tuesday until we decide to do something else. But not anytime soon because we still have a lot of unfinished business. Who knows?
Yeah. Cliffhanger for sure.
Week after week. All right, Joelle, have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
And I will see you next time.
See you there.
Take it easy, y'all.